Well, after an entire day of perusing through, or browsing, whatever the word for, of looking through the entirety of the internet, it's good to see that my reaction as opposed to the latest chapter of One Piece I read was completely valid. Especially considering the fact that WatchMojo.com did the top 10 strongest One Piece characters, and yeah, after yesterday's chapter appearing, it's no coincidence that this top 10 list came out. Especially when you consider who number 1 is. At least I can be number 1 at making these particular videos. Well, that was pathetic now, wasn't it? Happy Saturday, everybody. Yep, it's Saturday. It is totally awesome. We are at the weekend now. I can relax. It's weird. I slept in before I worked out, and I'm still completely tired. Although I did run pretty far today. For frame of reference, I did 7.3 miles today with the jump rope and the pushes from the sit-ups. So, yeah. Figure every Saturday it's going to be a relatively longer run. Probably going to try doing, over 8 next week. But, yeah. I can still run 7.3 miles pretty handily. It's 7.3 because I've clocked it before. That's a good thing about running your old routes. It's when you clock them once, you know exactly how far they are, and it just sticks with you for life. It's hard to explain, but, gotta get ready for that pie and glove. Gotta make room for Thanksgiving coming up. And yes, I know, it's only October 20th right now. Thanksgiving isn't for another month. Well, I've said this many times in my videos before, and it totally applies for here as well. Again, my brother and my sister-in-law got engaged in July of 2014, and their wedding was not until 2 years later. And no one ever thought the 2 years would fly by, and sure enough, July of 2016, July 2nd in fact, they got married. So 2 years flew by pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure a little over a month is going to feel like a blink in the eye. A blink of the eye. Somehow I'm pretty sure I just said that wrong. But yeah. Oh, it's raining outside. Man, am I glad I finished my workout before that happened. I mean, it did rain a little bit when I was running earlier, but not to the extent it looks like it's raining now. Because when I left, yeah, it was raining, but you couldn't hear the pitter-patter of, raindrops falling on your rooftop when I left. Well, you could, just barely. If I were to be quiet for a second. See, you can really hear that now, can't you? So, yeah. But, it's just something you gotta be prepared for. And personally, what I do whenever I go running is I always be sure, because I may have shared this before, ladies and gentlemen, but I love listening to music when I run. I absolutely need my iPod, but iPods and anything involving moisture do not mix. So, what do? I simply grab a plastic Ziploc baggie. In fact, hold on a second. I can just, see? This is pretty much what I used for running this morning. Although, probably could have done without well, actually, you know what, never mind, I kind of did have to wrap the headphones around the way I did. I mean, for whatever reason, I used to have my iPod in my pocket when I did my jump rope, but when the headphones are in your ears, and you're jumping up and down for whatever reason, the iPod would jump out of my pocket and fall to the ground, and that can really throw you off. Especially, excuse me, if you're really far into jump rope session, and then it's always like, no, ladies and gentlemen, I've said before, when I do jump ropes, as of this, well, today's the last day I'm doing 400. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to up it to 500. And depending on where I, end, or like how far I am into it, if I make a mistake, then, like, for example, if I did like 20 and for whatever reason, like, I made a mistake, like, I stomp on the rope or whatever, I don't mind starting over from there, because, I only just started, what's a couple of extra seconds going to do? But if I do, like, more than 100, I'm not going to start over. I only need to do 400 of them. Well, I end up doing a little bit more, but, just because, give or take. But in the end, I'm not going to kill myself over starting over from the very beginning again. Because what if I screw up again? Does that mean I would have to start over again? And it would just be a complete nightmare. I don't want to do any of that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I value my health and I value being able to work out and everything. But, some things you don't really have to do to a T. I mean, don't get me wrong. Doing 400 jump ropes in a row, that's great. In fact, I've been able to do it before. I've been able to do 500 in a row before. Don't know how I'm going to do more than that. Oh, I know how. But, I don't know, for whatever reason, I always keep making the fatal mistake of, because when I do my jump rope, I do the jump rope first, then I do the push-ups and sit-ups. I mean, sit-ups really aren't a problem, but push-ups immediately after jump rope can be a real pain in the arms. Because, like, I don't know, my arms feel like jelly after doing that many jump ropes or whatever, and then I have to do push-ups, and then I can, well, I say push-ups when it's more, sometimes more like really close or whatever. So, yeah, that gets to be a bit of a problem, but I don't necessarily mind it. I mean, again, there is always worse. I don't let that completely ruin my day, though. And plus, in the end, as long as I get stuff done, that's good enough for me. Although, speaking of good enough for me, I'm actually really hungry right now. Don't worry, this video's not going to be that much longer. So, yeah, last night, pretty solid, I got to hang out with my folks. So, I mean, this really shouldn't bother me because baseball really isn't as interesting to me as, say, football is. But I guess I am slightly bummed that the Red Sox are in the playoffs now. But again, it doesn't really bother me. I mean, there are greater sports rivalries out there than the Yanks and the Bo Sox. In fact, I actually learned this on Adam Richman's episode of Hot Ones, believe it or not. Oh, yeah. It was that, Adam Richman, believe it or not, is a fan of football, both American and European. And yes, for the sake of being politically correct, I will refer to soccer as football for, as European football. So, there you go. And, the difference between American football and European football is, again, say, the Cowboys and the Eagles would be like Yanks and Bo Sox. A Cowboys fan and Eagles fan could meet at, say, AT&T Stadium, sit next to each other. They would exchange words, and that would be the end of it. They could still enjoy, sort of enjoy each other's company, and that would be it. But if anyone out there is a European soccer fan, and I'm certain that some of you guys are, then you know that is not even remotely the case. there's actually a separate entrance for away teams' fans. And there's actually like a row, there's an entire section only for away team fans. And there's like a line of guards that like divides like home and away fans, I guess, to keep them from just beating each other up. It really does get that competitive. I do believe the phrase is, you Americans need to take out the word "and" when you answer the question, who do you support? And on that note, I agree. Ironically, I just said the word "and" there. And here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Yeah. I should stop before things get worse. So, yeah. I would like to go to a European football / soccer game one day, just to see what it's like. You know, one of my all-time, you know what, I'll mention this in, I think I'll mention this in the TP Tales tomorrow if I can remember to do it, but it does remind me of a certain movie that I watched when I was at Trinity Poly. But as to what the movie is, I think I'll save that for tomorrow. But let's just say, because of that movie, I'm forever blowing bubbles. I probably just gave it away. But, yeah, it sort of gave me a glimpse as to what European football is like. Again, I'm trying to be PC on the matter here. So, yeah. Hopefully, if you're a fan of, football of any kind, I'm sure this video probably interested you in some capacity. And hey, I just gave you a glimpse as to, what happens in an American football game and a European football game, usually. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some pretty crazy American football fan stories, to be sure. In fact, if I were to look up on the internet, the list of results I'd find would probably go for miles. But I'm not going to do that because, honestly, I'm getting really tired right now, in spite of the fact that I slept in, and I'm probably going to take a nap right now, as soon as this video is done. But this video is done when I say it is done. Okay, now it's done. Okay, so, y'all know the drill. Please like, favorite, share, and hit that subscribe button. I could really use the support on YouTube. Follow me on social media platforms of Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, because that's where I'm also going to be posting the videos there anyway. And as always, I'm very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy, as well as the fact that never mind, I say that for the next part. I'm hopeful you have a wonderful Saturday, and I hope you all learned something about the difference between American football and European football. I know I did. Thank you, Adam Richmond. He's the man. And if you ever want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear, and I'll always have your back. So take care, everybody.